if you were kind of going to describe SSP or give the background to a new client or in a introductory workshop, yeah, well, how do you tend to explain it?
There's different ways that I might explain it depending on what I know about
Mm,
them already. But someone who maybe doesn't know a lot about these types of therapies and modalities, I might say, have you heard of the polyvagal theory? Well, Stephen Porges is the founder of that theory, and he developed this listening program that helps to dance with your nervous system. It's a 5-hour program that just helps you to get more connected into what you might be working on, and it'll help your other therapies and the other things that you're doing become more effective and be able to go deeper with those. So it's a nervous system tool. It's another tool that we use. I wouldn't introduce it as a standalone because it wasn't
mm.
intended that way. But for some people, if they've done a lot of work on themselves already, this might be just the thing to give them their next big jump in growth.
Oh, yeah, that's so great. That's a really good explanation. Um, Something that twice I've been in a small Zoom call with Dr. Porges when we were inviting him to do some interviews and speak for the TRE community. And I got on the Zoom call first, and then he got on it, and Dr. Pacelli hadn't joined yet. Nobody else. So it was just him and I, and we were talking for a moment, and we're kind of chit chatting, and then he said, "Okay, there, good. Now we're available to one another. I feel available to you, and you seem available to me." And that really stood out to me that he kind of, puts his money where his mouth is in terms of his whole framework around social engagement. But that term availability really stuck with me. And I think, it's the idea that when we're in defense physiology, if we don't know somebody yet, or if we're stressed about something, then we're still physically existing there with the other person, but there's ways in which we're not available to them, because our social engagement nervous system isn't there to be in reciprocal relationship. And so this idea that we were just getting to know each other, and that we needed that chit chat. And then he said, "Okay, there, now I'm available to you, and I think you're available to me." He could kind of see when any defensive physiology had settled, and now we're in communication. But sometimes I think back on that when I think about the SSP, because in some ways I think that's what his goal, when you mention it being combined with other approaches, is that his goal is that
Mm-hmm.
it's a listening pathway that opens up through the middle ear, and we can talk about that, opens up our social engagement nervous system, and then makes us more receptive and available. If we can kind of get that transition to occur where our ventral vagal social engagement nervous system is more here, then we're more available and receptive to anything else that we do. So hearing your description just kind of made me think of that, the way he languages and emphasizes that.